Today I'm going to go through how we can use custom CSS selectors and validate them using Google Console. Today I'm going to go through how we can use custom CSS selectors and validate them with Google Console when we're automating the browser with Axiom.ai. I'm Alex Barlow, co-founder. Let's dive in. So let's keep this brief. On screen we have Axiom and a web page behind it. Now I want to work out a custom selector for this search button. So I'm going to open up Google Console. To do so, I right click and I press inspect. Now I'm going to click on their inspector tool, which is top left of the console. I'm going to hover over the element I want to work out the selector for. If I move myself out of the way, you can see the HTML of that element is now highlighted. So I can look at it and understand what could be a good selector. So I know it's a button element, so I could use button in my selector. I can see we've got an attribute of type submit. That's probably unique. I could use that. And further along here, we have an ID search button. Now that's probably the one to use because IDs are generally unique. And when I look at the classes, they're all very generic, or they may even be obfuscated, and so they will change and every time the page is caching, so it'll be unreliable. Basically, this sort of weird numbering means that the CSS class is most likely to change at regular intervals, so we don't want to use the class. Let's use the ID. So the ID is search button. Now I just want to validate that is correct. So if I click on the console tab, I can now type in document, because obviously we want to check the document, query selector. Now we want to add some parentheses and put our selector inside some speech marks. The hashtag, because that's an ID. And let's just add the closing. And below, we can see it's found that element and returned it. So that means it's a valid selector. Now, if I quickly change the text in that, we'll see there's a null. So when it's not valid and it's not found on the page, you'll see a null. And that's how we can quickly validate our selectors. However, there is one more. Once we have that valid selector, we can then open up Axiom and use it within our no code step. So I'm just going to open up Axiom here, close my console, and it's on the click, so I'm going to press select. Normally we'd just click and select the item, as simple as that. But if I want to use a custom selector, I can click on custom and I can delete what's in there. And funny enough, Axiom will also act as a validator of selectors. It will highlight it orange if it's correct. And there you go. I can see that that ID has worked. Press complete, and that is my selector set up and the end of this video. Thank you for watching.